What were we going about?
Nazis built the pyramids, the aliens started the Holocaust. It's just...
We're talking about serial killers today. They're ghosts.
It's only going to get worse from here. You know, I'm still waiting for that trend that I came up with a long time ago to take into effect. You remember that one, the wood chipper challenge?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Where you try to make it through in one piece?
Yeah. And whoever makes it all the way through.
I'm totally joking, people. Please do not fucking do that.
Yeah, we're really fucking joking.
I know that people are so, like, gotta have the latest fucking trend video and shit, but that is not one that I would recommend. I mean, if you...
Let me tell you, you're not making it through.
Yeah, just watch Deadpool dying. 2 and you'll see that no one is getting through that shit. Or watch Fargo. I mean, either way. But yeah, by legal reasons, please don't do that. Don't be stupid trying to do the latest trend, because we're going to be talking about that today. But before we get into that, welcome everybody to The Calling Couple. I am your host, Gage, along with my beautiful, lovely, wonderful fucking co-host,
Sage.
And as you can tell, we are going to be talking about the dangers of trends and how it is affecting people's lives. And it's really ridiculous. And
it's ending them.
Yeah. Before we do get into that, Sage has some more of her casino...
Oh, I got some tea for y'all. Okay, so in the last podcast... Last one, right?
Nah, the one before.
Was it the one before?
Yeah.
Okay. So whichever one I was talking about when me working at the casino... So I got an update for Mr. Yelling at the machine and dancing at the machine. He says, do a little flippy flip and fuck you. So, the first story I told you about the machine coming off the hinges, which they are bolted down to the ground. So, like, that's a really hard thing to do. You really gotta be fucking with that machine to do that. And then the guy who was cussing at the machine and doing little flips and stuff, well, turns out, same fucking guy. And how I know that is... He was back, ladies and gentlemen. Flippy Flip came back. And my boss came down and said, hey, you see that guy right there? Keep an eye on him. I'm like, oh, I already know about this guy. He does, like, little dances and punches machines. And they're like, that's exactly why we want you to keep an eye on him. You remember your first day with that machine that came off the hinge? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's him. I'm like, oh, shit, Mr. Flippy guy is the same guy? That's crazy, man. And then as soon as I thought that in my head, I was like, the podcast is got to know about this. And so, of course, this guy is doing his basic stuff, man. He's just cussing at the machine, punching the fucking button, like, bet, and all that. And, like, I don't even know if there's any money on the goddamn machine. He's just, like, so mad and all that. He's like, oh, fuck, oh. I'm just like, I don't know, like, is this the level I'm supposed to be, like, So I'm, like, doing my job and all that kind of stuff. And I have a customer come up to me, and they go, ma'am, there's a guy over here passed out on the machine. I'm like, what? Oh, fuck. No, not Mr. Flippy. So I go over there, and sure enough, he's fucking got both the machine in front of him that he's been flipping out on, and both machines on either side. He's got his arms draped over both the other machines, and he's just face first into his machine, just knocked the fuck out. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Thank you for telling me. I'll go find a security. So I go get security. And, like, this casino's long, so it takes you a while to get there. So I get to security, grab a security officer, and I'll tell y'all later about her ass, but goddamn. But I go grab her, and I'm like, hey, you gotta come see this. Come down there. The dude's already back up, doing his little flippies out. He's flipping out the machine. He's awake. And so she's like, I don't know. He's not doing anything wrong. I'm like, he was asleep. I promise. I had a customer come up to me and be like, hey, there's a dude passed out on a machine over here. And I'm like, I promise. And she's like, I'm sorry, dude. There's just nothing I can do right now. I'm just like, okay, I'll keep keeping an eye on him, I guess. Yeah. He never got kicked out all night.
Good Lord. I'm
like, I don't know. Just, anyways. So, like, y'all just postpone for that next story, because I'm sure Mr. Flippy will be back.
That's what we're going to call him from now on. Mr. Flippy.
Mr. Flippy.
Or Mr. Fuck You.
Mr. Fuck You. But he does his little flippies, his little spinny spins.
Well, that just means that we need to hear from our sponsors that are sponsoring today.
Definitely.
Do you have past trauma? You suffer with night terrors, shakes, and not able to focus? Well, meth might be the thing you just need. Here at Mental Evaluation Treatment Hospital, we will help you with all of your bullshit. So put down the bottle, break those pipes, and get hooked with meth today. Not a real rehab clinic. All patients are subjected to rob their loved ones. Call today and speak with your local meth provider. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and dive into this whole fucking trend thing. I know that people have talked about this for years because it's been going on, not just in the last few years, not since like 2016, but that's when it really became viral because there's been trends and pranks and stuff like that we grew up with.
Yeah, we grew up with them. My favorite cinnamon challenge, I don't think it killed anybody.
No, it definitely harmed some people.
Yeah, it did harm some people. I remember the whole, dude, we had to have a talking to at the school that said, y'all gotta quit trying to eat a spoonful of cinnamon because people are choking.
Yeah.
But no one was dying yet.
Well, I remember, like, in the movie Urban Legends, because that's what it used to be. Like, when trends were things that happened and shit like that, they were called urban legends.
They're like the trending challenge.
Yeah, and
yeah,
like...
they're called, yeah, that's... Ooh.
Yeah, right?
Hey, stop. Stop. Because as a witch, those get pretty bad.
But, like, I remember, like, and it was actually very... it was brought into the movie Urban Legends of the plot of it, and it was...
It went down the wrong pipe.
And it was the turn your headlights off, going down the highway, and then coming up behind somebody and flashing with
I've
your
done
brights.
That.
Yeah, that was, and it was actually a dangerous trend. It actually caused people to wreck and get killed. So,
well, I didn't like come up behind anybody, but we were dirt roading, and I just wanted to see how dark it was. It's pitch fucking black. My friends were like punching me, like, "Don't ever fucking do that again. That was so scary."
Yeah. So just like, thinking of all these trends really got me fucked up. But like the Four Loko challenge, man,
Oh yeah, you've had someone almost die on you.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend, the one I was with before you, she sat there and drank 7 Four Lokos within a 5-hour period.
Shit.
Yeah, and she had to be put in the hospital, all that kind of shit.
I can't imagine drinking 7 regular energy drinks, much less ones with alcohol in them.
Oh, I know, and that was dangerous as fuck too. Like people were dying from that challenge and all that. And
Monsters energy drinks got banned from my school. Because people were having to go to the hospital because they were drinking too many energy drinks.
Yep. So that's some of the trends that we had to deal with. Now all these younger kids are dealing with these trends that are put out there as either jokes or fun, but they're taking them too fucking far.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I remember, the cinnamon challenge was a big one.
Yeah.
But then the Tide Pods got brought in, and
that
it was
like, not us.
No, it wasn't. It was not us. But it got brought way the fuck out there.
What was that? What was some more? Like, what was after the cinnamon challenge?
You had the NyQuil chicken challenge.
I don't know that one.
And basically where...
No, I mean, like, way back. I mean, like, when we were still doing challenges.
Oh, man. Well, we had the Jackass challenge where
that's just Jackass stuff, man.
Right. Well, that's where it was, like, going for. But, yeah, man, it's been getting more and more and more stupid as time increases.
Yeah, okay. When we had our challenges, like the Jackass challenge and stuff, you had a goal, right? You could beat it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you did one of the stupid ramping things and all that kind of stuff, the goal was to win, to make the ramp. If you crashed, yes, it was fucking hilarious, and you got a good video out of it. But the point was to make it.
Yeah.
These modern challenges don't have points.
They don't, and it's very, very fucked up because some of these kids are taking them too far to where it's just not working out. Where, like the latest fucking trend that I just seen.
The latest one as of, what is today?
As of September 25th of 2023, you have this challenge that is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's the scarf challenge. And
don't do it. I don't know what it is yet, but don't do it.
The scarf challenge is where you basically take a scarf or a belt and you are cutting off your air supply till you get into a temporary state of unconsciousness.
Oh, that's called a kink, people.
Yeah, and
that's not a challenge.
I was going to say that there is a...
You don't wank it while you do it because that's called a kink.
There was a famous martial artist who was Bill from Kill Bill and stuff. He actually died by doing that, but he was actually fornicating himself while he was doing it, and it went too far, and he ended up killing himself by doing that. So,
by the way, that's not new, ladies and gentlemen. Something very similar, not our generation, but the generation before. My mom didn't teach me this one. Don't get it wrong. Okay.
She talked to you about it.
She talked to me about it. I know it sounded like I said taught, but I did not. I said talked to me about it. But it was where they would do these breathing thingies, and then they cross their arms over their chest, and then someone would shove them really hard against the wall, and it's supposed to make you pass out or feel weird or something like that. It pretty much all it is knocking the breath out of yourself. You hyper a lot.
Hyperventilate, yeah.
Hyperventilate. You make yourself hyperventilate, then cross your arms over your chest, and then someone grabs your arms and presses you hard against the wall. And it's supposed to do something. But that's the same fucking thing. That was their trend when they were in school. So yeah, the millennial generation didn't start it either. It was going on when our parents were fucking in school.
Yeah, these trends a lot of these trends aren't new. They're just modernized.
We should ask my grandma if they had anything like that.
Yeah.
What was something silly y'all did as a kid, you would dare each other to do? That was really
into the
trendy.
Draft.
Oh my god! They're like, we didn't have anything like that. We were too busy fighting war. I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that tracks.
But yeah, the scarf game is a new one where they, like I said, they're using scarves or belts to do this. And I don't know if they're having somebody else hold on to them or if they're doing it to themselves or whatever that is. But
I don't know.
Don't fucking do that.
Just don't do it, because because all I'm thinking is that it's going to get too tight and you're not going to be able to get it off yourself, or someone else is going to be doing it and they're not going to know when to stop and they're going to accidentally kill somebody.
Yep.
Or you're giving your friend a boner and you both learned something about each other that day.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is with recent events with my family member that we just lost, and it was because of lack of oxygen to the brain that she was brain dead. She had so much lack of oxygen to her brain that it was, and it wasn't because of this challenge. So let me make that clear. But the dangers of losing oxygen to your brain is very, very severe.
Yeah, and it's not even about killing. Yeah, it's not even about death. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can go into a coma. You can go into.
You were saying the same thing.
Yeah, there's so much dangers to lack of oxygen to your brain, not only to your other organs of your body, but you just don't want to do this challenge. It is so fucking stupid that people are wanting to do this one. Planking was fine. It was okay, but some people took it too far. And that's where it's
Well, that's the same thing the kids are going to think about this challenge. Well, only some people are going to take it too far, but not me. I won't take it too far.
You know what?
Choking yourself is taking it too far, period.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, is when you say that shit, you are not invincible. You are not you're not going to be, you may not be that percentage that makes it through it. So why even risk it? You were literally playing Russian roulette with 5 out of 6 of the barrels loaded. You need to just stop.
Yeah.
It's not going to be one of those that is oh, yeah, this is a great trend. This is going to be a trending video. I'm going to go viral. You're going to go viral for 5 minutes. It's not 15 minutes of fame anymore. It's literally 5 minutes.
And then go to jail for 15 years.
Yeah, and you can go to jail for this stuff and lose your entire life over
because either you're dying or whoever you're choking's dying or something like that, or going into a coma.
Yeah, because now if you are caught into this and you are there with that person and they are doing this trend, or you're helping with this trend, or you're around this trend at all, you are an accomplice to a death. And guess what? You may lose your life by just going to prison. And it's not worth it. It is not worth it, okay? So with that challenge, it's just holy shit. The Tide Pod challenge was very fucking dangerous because you're putting these chemical acids.
We're not already putting chemicals in our body, but we won't get into that.
Well, true. But the chemical acids that are in cleaning detergents are meant to get rid of things. They are an acid-based substance. And so watching these people bust these in their mouth and they're just oh God, it's in my mouth. They were burning their tongues, but it was also, they were swallowing some.
Yeah.
So now you're basically, okay, if you kids don't know, bleach, Drano, and all that kind of stuff, you don't drink. You don't ingest because that is deadly. Same thing with these Tide Pods. They are very fucking deadly. So do not be doing this kind of stuff and thinking, "No, yeah, this ain't that bad."
Well, what other challenges were there? Was there any recent ones?
That's the most recent one is the Scarf Challenge. But there's been some other ones that have been very fucking deadly.
But what was between Tide Pods and Scarf Challenge?
A lot of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like what?
Well, like I was saying, there was the Blackout Challenge, which has been around and trending on social media since 2008. Has taken,
that one's still going?
Yeah, taken the life of multiple individuals due to the number of deaths. TikTok has the hashtag the Blackout Challenge banned on the platform. The challenge consists of individuals holding their breath before having another individual press them against the wall until they pass out or black out.
Telling you. That was old, guys. That's old. That's not even 2008. Man.
Yeah, that's older.
That's way older than that.
But it was more recognized in 2008 because that's when everybody actually started recording and posting it on the internet and stuff like that.
It became trending online. But people were doing this way before that.
Uh-huh.
Because my mom said they did that shit in high school.
I mean, you can't even do the old school games anymore of like 7 Minutes of Heaven or Spinning the Bottle because, you might misappropriate or...
Rape culture.
I was going to say sexually abuse or assault somebody.
Oh, but y'all want to choke each other out, but you can't make out with someone you don't want to make out with in the closet.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Peer pressure is different nowadays.
But you'll let him choke you out. Mm-hmm. You won't make out with him in the closet, but you'll let him choke you out for a trend.
Yeah, and
all right, that makes sense to me, buddy.
This trend, talking about the Scarf Challenge, all it does make me think of how many serial killers we're creating by this. So many people are sitting there strangling like, oh my God, you know what? This isn't that bad. I like having somebody else's life in my hands. That's kind of fucking creepy, guys. Don't do this. Jesus Christ. Then we had the Benadryl Challenge, which was a bunch of kids taking a handful amount of Benadryl, which
two Benadryl pills got me fucking tripping.
Yeah, for real. And that's where basically you are taking something that is supposed to help you with your allergies and shit like that to be able to get through the day or get through some sleep, but taking a handful of any kind of medication is dangerous. It has been around. This isn't a trend. This isn't a new thing. This is things that have been around forever. This is something that people have used to take their own life and stuff. So you really don't want to be playing with this. And as a result of that, 2 kids have died from this challenge. One of them being here from Oklahoma, and that's where it's like, holy shit.
And I bet you that's just the ones that the challenge has like
been connected with.
Yeah. But you know how many more kids that probably that challenge has taken that like the recording never got publicized?
Yeah, publicized. That is true. Here's my thing, people, is when you do these challenges, when you post stuff, when you want to put anything on social media, my thing is that don't get upset if you post something and it doesn't go over well, because you actually have that final say-so. Unless somebody else has recorded it, they have the access to that video. In that kind of case, I understand it. But when you post something and it's like, oh my God, I didn't want that reaction. I wish it hadn't gone that way. Or if you post something that's really stupid, really cringy, really like, what the fuck? You actually have that ultimate goal to never let it happen. You have control over what is being posted on your social media platforms. So if you are like, take a step back and be like, is this worth it? Is this going to be...
Well, like you just said, they didn't know that was going to be the reaction. You're stupid if you didn't think that was going to be the reaction, because most of the time I see videos like that and people are like, oh, I didn't think that would be the That's exactly what the reaction was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But second of all, no, you don't always have control over that. Because if you think it's going to be a good idea and you post it, and for some reason it gets misconstrued or anything like that, sometimes you can't take it down fast enough before someone has shared it, copied it, reposted it somewhere else. Because people do that all the time. Like, you can, like, if you get on TikTok and you see, like, shared videos and stuff where it's not their original video, and you're like, oh, well, I wonder where the original post is. You can't find it because they've already taken down the original post.
Right.
But the video is still out there because people have copied it, shared it too many times, and then it's beyond the person who originally posted its control.
Well, and that's what I mean, though, is like, take a minute before posting it.
Think about how this could go wrong.
Yeah,
really think about how this could fuck you up for the rest of your life.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, you're the one that hits post. So if you are concerned that this might look bad on you, take at least 15 minutes, 20, 30, an hour before posting it and go over that video multiple times and be like, hey, you know, maybe I don't want this out there.
Also, like, it's on social media forever, guys. So 20 years from now,
yeah,
when you got kids of your own, maybe they can see you doing that, man.
Yep, for real. They're going to be looking at that like, you are a fucking dumbass and you want to get on to me? Like, fuck you.
Like, I am so glad TikTok and stuff didn't exist when I was in high school, because I would be so ashamed of half the shit I did as a kid. My kids seeing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm so glad.
Right. Well, and that's the thing though, is like, look at memes themselves. Memes themselves of that guy that had the sweater vest on, the braces, and all that kind of stuff. Now he's owned it. He's very well owned it.
Yeah, that's the different. That's just silly.
Right, but it's
not like condemning.
Well, there's several other stories of people who have, like the Star Wars kid, one of the first viral videos to ever come out. Mm-hmm. It actually ruined his life, and he's sued multiple platforms because it's ruined his life.
I don't know.
The kid with the broomstick, the chubby kid that was sitting there swinging it around and doing all the Star Wars noises and fucking. It was a viral video that happened, and it ruined his life to where he has sued multiple platforms trying to get rid of that video because it's been so bad and hard on him for the rest of his life, and that was almost 25 years ago.
I feel like that's funny though. Like, why ruin his life?
Because,
I feel so bad.
Because doing stuff like that, it's hard to get jobs because employers are going to look at you like, oh, well, you're an idiot. I don't want you here at this company. Or it's going to ruin your social life. These things can ruin the rest of your days. It's funny now, but it can ruin the rest of your life, and you don't want that.
Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe choking one of your friends to death?
Yeah.
With a scarf?
Because...
Or a belt?
You got to think, people are going to see these videos, and they're going to be out there. They're going to be continuously played over and over and over.
Also, if you're doing challenges in a public area, or at a party, which I consider a public area because you're not the only one with a fucking phone there.
Exactly. You got people that are going to sit there and record you and post that without your consent.
Without your consent. And that's a fucking thing, man.
And now your life is ruined. It's not like back when we were kids or our parents or anything like that, when there was no recordings and stuff. So if you did something stupid, it was in stories or it was a legend. It was one of those deals. Now there's video proof, and trust me, you don't want the video proof. You don't want that to be out there and that be shadowing over you for the rest of your fucking life. Because you could sit here and be like, man, I remember you doing this back in high school, man. You fuck crazy, but no video, no evidence, no proof. Yep. Now it's like, dude, I recorded this back in high school. Oh, shit.
What's even worse is that if you're not the one that recorded it and someone else did, well, even if you did record it, there's video editing these days. Mm-hmm. Or there was then too, but I'm saying like there's video editing.
It's more hands-on.
So it's acceptable. Like it's not
accessible.
Yeah, definitely accessible. But I'm saying like say somebody, you're like, oh, I can't believe you did that thing back then, and there's video evidence of it. And I'm just like, you didn't see the whole thing. You're like, no, I seen the whole video. No, you didn't see the first 5 seconds of the video because someone edited the first 5 seconds out. Like maybe you punched somebody and they got knocked the fuck out, and like you're a bad guy now. Yeah. Well, you didn't see the first 5 seconds or 5 minutes of that video where that person was going off on you, or they punched you first, or some shit like that. You know, like they're like your reasoning sometimes gets edited out.
Yeah, and that's where you can either be made the villain, the martyr, or the hero, and it's
not normally up to you.
Yeah, and that's what sucks. So if anything, compose yourself. Really think about this. Think about what's around you, your environment. If you see a cell phone out, back the fuck off. Be like, you know what, dude, fuck it, I'm done.
Oh yeah, I know. People are like, when you watch those viral videos about like people pulling their phones out and stuff. Yes, that can save you sometimes too. Like, trust me. Like if you're in a situation where you feel threatened, fucking pull your phone out, man, because you don't know how many people that will calm the fuck down. And it's gonna be evidence eventually.
Yep.
Like, we're not saying don't record everything. We're just saying be careful of what you want recorded about you.
Yes, for sure, because you don't want anything to be damning for you later on in life. And that's where, if you want to record a cutesy video or anything like that, great. But if you want to record something that you are wanting to go trendy, or you want something that's going to be out there that is going to be representation of you, take your time with it. Think about it. Think about how you want it to go. Like, plan it out.
You know what? Something as an artist, a lot of us artists do is watermark your video. It's just like a little, like you're gonna go back and edit it, right? Mm-hmm. So figure out how to make yourself a watermark. They're called watermarks. It's like a logo. Mm-hmm. It's like a little like translucent logo in your video. Don't put it over in the corner, because whoever edits it can crop your video and crop your watermark right out. But then you know it's not authentic.
Yeah.
Post that. I've seen videos do this where they've had the watermark strewn across the video and all that kind of stuff. It's translucent, so you can still see the video just fine, but it's covered with a watermark, which makes it original, which makes it your video and all that kind of stuff. And so no one can edit that out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That way, if it has been, you'll always have the original video, of course, because you have your watermark on it. Mm-hmm. And so if you get somebody else recopied your video and like edited the original stuff out and all that, you can prove it, and you can go get that person for taking out your watermark, and you can sue their ass because that's your watermark, which means they stole your property.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and I like that.
Well, that's why a lot of people who don't want their videos misconstrued, that's what they'll do. That's why a lot of YouTubers have watermarks on their videos. And so you can't take their videos and edit it the way you want it to be seen.
Okay, yes, that is some great fucking advice. I like that a lot. I mean, but like how we do right here on our podcast and stuff, even when I do my own videos and stuff, I don't do TikTok anymore, but like whenever I do stuff like that, I always try to think about how I want it to be represented, how I want it to be done, how I want it to be filmed, how I want it to be posted and shit like that. I always think of that, and then I also think on the back of my mind, how is this going to be perceived? Is it going to be going the way I want it to? Not? And of course I have people like you that will double check and like, I don't know about that. And
which is, example, we sound like assholes a lot of the time. But we're like, do we want to put that out there? Yes, we do. We have talked about it many times, and we know that we sound like assholes a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And we're okay with that because it's real. It's authentic. We talk like assholes in real life.
Yeah.
So if you think we're an asshole, sorry to tell you, you're going to love us.
Right.
Because we are.
Yeah, we're not putting on a facade, a character, and all that. Sure, we're not using our real names, but you know what? That's because we choose to. But a lot of we have our boundaries. We have our things that we are like, no, we will not talk about, and we won't go that direction. But most of the time, if we said it, we said what we said, and we stand by it.
I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Good call, bitch.
But I mean, that's where I just wish that these people would take the time and actually think about what they're posting and make sure that it's not going to be harmful to themselves or others, because it may be a fun little quick little video, but it could be life-ending or life-ending. I mean, you don't know how it's going to go, and you want to make sure that you do it right. Do it proper. Take your time.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to the trends, too, also, think about it. How could this ruin my life? Could I accidentally kill somebody? Yes. Don't do it then. Could it? And if the answer is no, think about, could this ruin someone's life or my life? And if the answer is yes, don't do it. But if it's no, think about, like, could this embarrass me? Yes or no. Do I care that it embarrasses me? Yes or no. Like, come on, like, do the little pyramid scheme thing.
Yeah.
Like put your, what is that process called? It's in science class, everybody.
Just put your ducks in a row.
Yeah, think about it, god damn it.
That's all you really got to do is just put your ducks in a row and start lining them out correctly.
Like, I know currently your thought process is, that's trending, I gotta do it now while it's popular so I can get popular. I know that's your thought.
Wait a week and see all the other people that do it and see how they're doing it, and trust me, you're gonna sit there and be like,
but you gotta do it while it's trendy. Trust me, if it's trendy, people are gonna get fucking hurt.
Yeah, and you're gonna probably be one of them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you are.
Yeah, you're not gonna be.
The people who have actually done it and no one's gotten hurt and their videos got popular, those videos are edited. Go check in on that person's life right now and tell me that they're still happy they did that video.
Yeah, because there's actually been several people that have gone back and like, man, I apologize for that video. I know that was years ago, and I'm so sorry.
Like, go back and all those viral fucking videos you saw, and you're like, man, I want to do that so bad. Go back and check in on that person's life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that they are still proud of that video today.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're probably not.
Oh, God, no. I guarantee you they aren't. And if they are, well, that just means that they are drinking from a certain Kool-Aid.
Or if they are, that was their 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And literally that's all it is.
Yep.
20 fucking seconds of fame.
Yeah, they got all those followers in that one video, and now they can't capitalize on anything else. Oh,
it's like that viral video of people who do one thing, and that one video goes viral. It doesn't become a trend or anything.
But that's their whole thing.
Yeah, and that's their whole thing. So they just do that over and over and over, and that's so stupid.
Like that guy who did the bottles.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, really? Oh my God, you did it one time, so now it's your whole persona. I'm just like...
Which I get it.
I do, but
because it's a safe one. It's a safe challenge. It's good. It's all right.
It's.
But that's all he's able to really come up with. And don't get me wrong, some of those videos are satisfying.
It is. I get the ASMR video part of it, but don't do the same ASMR. Learn do a new safe ASMR videos, satisfying visuals, sound videos. Like anybody can do that kind of stuff. I've been wanting you to do it for years. Back when you had a motorcycle. I'm like, do motorcycle ASMR videos, man.
Yeah.
People love that shit.
Yeah, you've been telling me to do that for a long time. But, I mean, there's a lot of trends. There's a lot of things you guys can do out there that are really good and all. And the ones that kill me the most that I watch that I'm just like, oh, my God, is that one guy that is looking out the window reviewing all the cooking videos and just sitting there like, what the fuck are you doing and shit? And you'll see people making all these weird concoction food videos that are just like, no, for the love of God, don't eat that. And they will eat that like, oh my God, a full gun. And it's like, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that guy. That guy cracks me up, and he's like, at the end of the video, he like farts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so funny.
That's the thing though.
But yes, don't eat that. Oh my God. That peeves me the most as a, this is going to be very, very sexist, but as a woman who can cook really well, those videos piss me the fuck off. Because I'm like, no, food trending videos. Like, food viral videos or food challenge videos. Uh-huh. Oh my God, I can't stand it.
Yeah,
they don't go over well. Like, why are you teaching kids to like raw cook peanut butter and chicken together for 20 minutes in an oven at 250? Like, that's raw chicken. You're letting stupid college students who don't know how to cook cooking for the first time in their fucking lives. They're like, oh, I got all this free chicken from, that food pantry.
Right.
I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this chicken. Oh, go on TikTok. Oh, okay. Throw some peanut butter on top of it and put it in the oven at 250 for 20 minutes.
My biggest thing is like, how are they still alive? How have they not contracted?
They don't. They're in the hospital with salmonella.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Or they got tapeworms.
Yeah, don't do that. If you want.
Sadly enough, my biggest one, and this one doesn't peeve me, but it freaks me out, is the freaking kids making their own sushi at home with the raw salmon.
Oh God, no! Don't do that.
Oh my gosh! Like. Okay, this salmon's not raw, guys. It's been smoked or something. Like, there are parasites in raw fish, like worms and stuff, like hookworms and whatnot, that the smoke is hot enough and kills all the bacteria and parasites out of the worms. I mean, out of the fish. Like, it gets it all out of there and all that kind of stuff. And then they roll it. Technically, it's not raw. It's been smoked. I mean, it is raw because the texture.
Right.
But it's not raw. And you guys are out here just grabbing fish off of a shelf and slicing it up and putting it on your food. And I'm just like, you all have worms now. You have worms. You have worms and you're going to go to the hospital. Somebody give these kids worm pills. Go to the vet and get you some worm pills because you are a dog.
Yeah, and you never know if you have a worm or not. You will, by the time you realize you have something, it is
so too late, man. Your belly is full of worms. Like if you out there eating sushi a lot and like for some reason, girl, you got a pot belly, like you're skinny as fuck, right? But your stomach is sticking out like you're bloated. Honey, you probably got worms, babe.
Yeah. So just if you want some culinary fucking videos and stuff like that. Me out.
That is my heebie-jeebie.
Just watch some cooking shows, actual cooking shows,
please.
And a lot of times they'll give you recipes on how to make it, how to fucking actually do it.
And if you want to be entertained, promise me, trust Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah,
he is entertaining as fuck, and he knows what he's doing. He will teach you correctly.
Yes. And so just don't be following all those people that don't know how to cook.
The TikTok food trends, I can't. The dump cake, that was probably the only good one I've ever seen, where it's like you just like layer all this stuff, don't mix it up, all that kind of stuff. Just dump cake, regular old dump cake. That's old recipe. That is not new. That is nothing trendy. That is something my Mimi taught me back when I was still a fucking kid.
Right.
So the dump cake recipe, that's real. Y'all can do that one.
But honestly, guys, be fucking mindful of what you're doing, okay? Yeah. We've said this before in our Dark Web Dangers episode. Be cautious of what you post. Be cautious of who's following you and what people are seeing of you, because you may be thinking that this is your persona, this is your secret identity and shit, but it's not that hard to fucking track you down. It's not that hard to fucking figure out where you are and all this and that, and people having this obsession of mindset of, well, this is what you like, this is what you are, this is what I'm going to give you. So be fucking cautious of that. Just because you see male and females and in between fucking doing that shit on Instagram and TikTok does not mean that's who they really are, so don't do that. The biggest thing, I like watching the porn star interviews, and I think it's hysterical because...
We're not talking about your freaking black couch fucking...
No, I'm actually talking about interviews with the actors and actresses that do these, because that's what they are. They are entertainers that are doing this stuff. So, like, not the amateur stuff that you see.
You thought that moaning was a real bitch?
Right. But the biggest thing that I hear from them is that they say people think that this is my actual identity, that it is okay to come up and be like, hey, can I sleep with you because I think you're a whore since you do these videos? No, they're not. They're entertainers. They get paid. They have safe contracts that say what they're allowed to do and what they're not. Like, you can't just sit here and think that. And that's the biggest thing that they deal with, is that they get these fans.
Are you telling me I cannot go up to Richard Castle and have him sign my book?
Maybe. That depends. But, like, when you take it too far, when you live in this fantasy world of seeing these people and think, oh, this is who they are in real life, it's not. They're entertainers. They make these personas up. They come up with these characters, and that's what they're doing. If you do that, just be cautious, because they're cautious about what they do. They're cautious about what they put out, what they make, and what they are producing. So whether it's porn stars to actors to fucking influencers, you don't take them at face value. That is not what they're doing. What they're doing is trying to entertain or educate. Don't think that that's who they really are, because that's not. This is not really what we are. I mean,
this
sure,
is, but our names are fake.
Right, but we are also we're not one-sided of each coin. We're on both sides. We just let you see what we want you to see.
Look, we've said many times, our podcast is our outlet.
Right. So that's where you got to be cautious of what you're putting out, cautious of the repercussions that can come, and just be careful of who you have following you and all this and that, because you don't know. You have no idea. There are dangerous people out there. If you think social media has stopped serial killers, it hasn't. They are out there still.
No, it's just made them. It's made their fishing pool larger,
and it's made it harder for them to be caught, because there's billions of people on social media. So now they are literally the needles in the needle stack. And
honestly, nah, I won't even get into the dark web today. What was that really? I don't know. The Griswold shake or whatever, that trend with the purple trend, the purple shake trend from McDonald's.
Oh, man, I barely remember that one.
It was really big for a long time and hilarious. The girls loved it. Children were scared of that. That was so funny. They thought that trend was real, that the shakes were really like fucking people up and like turning them into like zombies and stuff. Not our kids. They knew it was fake.
No,
but I'm seeing like there's videos of people like moms and dads getting like the trend became a trend. Okay, so what people did, it was really funny, and I don't know if anybody got hurt. We'll have to look it up. So don't quote me on this, but I feel like that was a hilariously safe trend. Where you just get the shake, you take a drink of it, and you're like, happy birthday, whatever his fucking name was. What's the purple guy's name? Grimace.
Grimace.
Yeah. Okay. Happy birthday, Grimace. Whatever kind of. And they take a drink, and then like they do kind of like Billie Eilish fucking music video. And they're just like, and there's purple shit everywhere and all that. And they're just like laying on the side of the road with their eyes rolled in the back of their head, and like they'll be laid out somewhere. It did get dangerous because people were starting to do it in very dangerous locations.
Yeah.
But what trended right after that was parents doing it, getting the shake in front of their kids who had seen these videos. And the kids thought it was real. They thought the shake was really fucking these people up. So when their parents would get the Grimace shake and be like, oh, look what I got us, honey, and all that kind of stuff, the kids would be like, no, Mom, no, don't drink it. It'll kill you. And they'd like take a drink of it in front of the kids. And yes, that's scarring, but also kind of funny. And then they get to show the kids a video about it not being real.
Well, and see, and that also goes on the effect of these trends that are very fucking dangerous and can be deadly, like the girls with the Slender Man deal. I know.
Oh God!
I know.
That wasn't even a TikTok trend. That was just a freaking urban legend thing that went too far.
Yeah, I know. Law and Order SVU actually did a whole episode or 2 episodes about that incident, but these 3 girls believed that fucking Slender Man was real and was doing rituals and all that, trying to summon him.
That is technically a trend, so it pertains to the episode.
And they fucking all went out into the woods. Well, 2 of them were like, well, we'll sacrifice our friend to Slender Man. Stabbed her multiple fucking times. I believe slit her throat, which was very fucking extreme. Which stabbing is extreme anyways, but like... They were willing to kill their friend.
Did they end up killing her, or did she survive?
She survived.
Didn't they make a movie about how when the girls grew up, them finishing the mission?
I don't know.
There is. We watched it. There's a movie out about them like growing up and then coming to terms with what they've done and all that kind of stuff, and like trying to like bond over it. Like because the one who planned everything ended up going to jail, and the one that was just following along, she didn't go to jail as long, so she'd been out for a while.
Right. Which is true. That is part of the actual case.
Yeah, I'm saying it's based off the events. It's like a made up story about how what they did when they got out of jail. Mm-hmm. They both stupidly moved back to the same fucking town, so they're ostracized from this town, of course, and all that kind of stuff. And they're trying to bond over this. They're trying to like get over it and like come to terms and all that kind of stuff. The mom of the victim is they tried to bond with her for some reason. I'm like, that's so stupid. Don't talk to the victims. But they're like trying to figure out how this even happened, like how they got to this point. And so the 2 girls go out there into the woods again as adults, trying to figure out how this happened and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the movie right now, guys.
Okay.
And Slenderman was real. It was all real. I was like, in the whole movie, you're thinking of the real case. You're thinking of these kids were stupid, and that's how they're filming the movie. They're filming the movie as if they were just 2 stupid kids that did this. But it turns out at the end of the movie that it was real the whole time. And the girl who had gotten out of jail earlier than the other one, the one that had just been following them around, following her moves and stuff, she ended up sacrificing the original girl because they had to finish the sacrifice. And it was good.
Well, so back to the real story.
Sorry, I got tangented.
This little girl actually did survive, and she is scarred for life because it was a trend that went too fucking far.
Way too far.
And I don't think that the girls got a heavy enough sentence, but that's my opinion. If you guys have your own opinion on that, if you know the story, leave us a comment down below what your thoughts are, if you want to leave a little bit more in depth, or if you want to talk more about these trends that you find are crazy.
Oh yeah, what? Okay, I do have that question. What is the craziest trend that you remember?
Yeah, leave us a comment down below, or you can leave us an in-depth conversation over at our email at thecallingcouplepod@gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
Gmail, and we would love to hear from you and get some insight on what your thoughts are of this whole ordeal. But yeah, that's definitely a good representation of how a trend can go extremely deadly.
Yeah, like you said earlier, like how many serial killers are these trends making? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say, if some little kid accidentally strangles one of their friends to death, that's gonna mess up their because their minds are still growing, right?
Yeah,
that's gonna sear into that child's mind, and for some reason they're gonna have to recreate that moment. Mm-hmm. like, there's like whole. We'll end it because I'm diving deep into serial killers now. And that's not the episode we're on.
I was just gonna say that there's a story of the Japanese cannibal. I don't know if you know this one, but
it sounds familiar.
He was a college student who befriended this girl who was a tutor to him to help him learn English and stuff like that. And he became infatuated with her and wanted to know what she tasted like and shit.
Why?
And
that's such a weird thought.
He ended up shooting her in the back of the head, killing her, cutting her up, eating her mostly, and then trying to dump her body in suitcases and shit. And whenever he finally got caught, he got caught in the act of trying to dispose of her body and shit. And he's now out. He's actually freed from prison.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and
he killed and ate somebody. Did they let him go?
Yes, because he had wrote many books and done many interviews.
So that's how we get out of prison, huh?
Well,
we read a book about it.
He was atoning for his crimes and shit like that. Yeah, and
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
Right, but he's now out, and he has said that was the worst mistake of his life by doing it, and he's like, I don't even have those urges anymore and all.
Yeah, lying.
Yeah,
lying.
And right now he's been out for the last almost 28
If he's
years.
Not a vegetarian, he's a liar.
And so but it's still, just because you atone for it doesn't make up for the fucking fact that you did these crimes, that you went that far. And that's the same with these trends and stuff like that.
Well,
just because you've gone that far doesn't mean that you can say, oh, I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again. Doesn't matter. You still went all the way with it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You did it. Well, if anyone out there has cannibalistic urges, just eat a hot dog, because they are 2% human now. If everybody didn't know that, for the last 7 years.
I had no idea.
Yep, they're 2% human DNA now. Even the veggie ones.
Where the fuck are you getting this information?
It's an article I read.
Ah.
But it's a 7-year-old article.
From a tabloid or from a highly recommended fucking publication?
From TikTok.
Oh my god. Oh Lord.
You know the guy who's all like he'll duet a video and he'll be like, come closer, come here. And he'll like spill all the beans about something and all that. He's the one that told me, and I believe everything he says. So.
But yeah, guys, honestly, take your fucking time when posting something. When you have an idea or you're wanting to follow a trend, take your time. Like I said, give it a week and just watch the trend videos and see how far it goes. Because
if it's worth it, if it's a real fad, it's a real trend, it'll go longer than a week. So just watch it for a week.
You know, the ones that are becoming more and more dangerous that I'm seeing that are so popularized, that are all over, are these fucking gender reveal parties. They're getting more and more dangerous, and it's like, what the fuck?
That's the trend. That's the trend.
Oh my god.
Is how dangerous they are, and gender reveal fails. They're literally failing their gender reveal parties on purpose. Or they're becoming dangerous on purpose.
I seen one that was so fucking retarded that I couldn't believe that this was...
Is it the balloon and the bat?
No.
Because that was stupid.
No.
You cannot pop a balloon with a bat.
Yeah, I don't know why people...
It is not a pinata.
But it was a balloon in a dirt bike. This guy put the balloon on the tailpipe of the dirt bike, trying to get it to pop. You are putting so much carbon monoxide...
Pressurized carbon monoxide.
Into that fucking room. And if you guys don't know, which I'm surprised if you don't, but if you...
No, I would not be surprised if you didn't.
Carbon monoxide is a killer. That's why you have carbon monoxide detectors in your house.
That's how people commit suicide in their cars and their garages.
With garden hoses and all that. But we do not recommend you doing that. Please do not fucking do that.
It could be the latest trend.
But here's
Can you survive in your garage for more than 20 minutes?
This fucking... goddamn. This fucking guy thought it would be cool, which I get it. It wasn't bad if they did it outside, but they did it inside the house. So now this thing is filling up the house with carbon monoxide, filling up this balloon with a massive amount of carbon monoxide.
And this balloon's getting huge. It's bigger than a toddler.
Yeah, it's getting bigger than the dirt bike. It's not popping.
Yeah, it's just filling it.
And then finally...
Because it's a gender reveal balloon, and those things get huge.
Yeah, and this thing finally fucking pops. Now, everybody in that room is getting carbon monoxide poisoning. There are people instantly getting dizzy, headaches, and stuff like that, which are signs of carbon monoxide poisoning. Mm-hmm. The woman who is pregnant is standing right by the fucking goddamn dirt bike. Yeah, you're able to cause yourself a fucking miscarriage from that shit.
My thing is the toddler that was standing right there.
Yeah.
First, I'll be honest, the condensed pressurized carbon monoxide and then balloon suddenly exploding into oxygen, I thought there was going to be an explosion. I thought there was going to be, because oxygen catches fire when heat and CO and carbon monoxide hits it like that.
Yeah, and that's where it's.
I thought the room was gonna explode. I'm like, we're about to witness Moida.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, people, please, for the love of God, start thinking. And if you're in that situation, you see something like that, it's okay to say something.
Yeah,
it is okay to fucking say something.
Please be the naysayer, Jesus.
Like, stop pulling your fucking phone out and be like, hey.
You can pull your phone out still, but you can speak while you're pulling your phone out. That's what I don't understand. Like, you're pulling your phone out, just giggling to yourself. I'm just like, say something. Save some lives.
Yeah, like, because you're putting yourself in that environment,
too. You are in the vicinity of the stupid.
So that just, like, you sitting there laughing at it and just like, oh my God. You're actually condemning yourself of your own level of stupidity.
Vicinity of stupid.
Okay.
My child.
Oh my God, yeah. So I just heard about this yesterday.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You knew about this.
Well, I knew about the incident. I didn't know it involved our child. It didn't involve our child. Our child was just in the vicinity of stupid.
So we're not going to tell you the town and all this and that, but...
Well, those who know.
Right. But there was an incident at our school recently.
Yes.
That a child brought a firearm,
gun,
whether it was fake, real, or not.
It was fake.
It is illegal for you to bring any kind of firearm-looking device to school.
Yes, it was a realistic-looking water gun because, of course. Okay, did you want to go ahead and just tell the whole story?
Well,
go ahead. I'll stop in a minute.
So, this person brought it to school just to be funny and be like, "Hey, check out my new toy, all this and that." But with everything that's been going on for the last 40 years. No, I say 60 years.
These are a bunch of 10 and 11-year-olds. So,
yes.
Of course, peak of the trend, I'm using air quotes, peak of trend society.
Mm-hmm.
So.
They thought it would be cool to bring it to school and show it off. Well, the thing is, yet again, they're still young, so they don't know a lot of this stuff that's going on. And this child probably doesn't even realize why they are getting in trouble for...
Which, if they don't... then bad on their parents.
Yes.
Bad on their parents for not teaching them about school shootings.
Or just guns in general and safety and shit like that. Now, do you want to pick it up from here because she told you more than I heard?
Yes. So they were at lunch and it was a bunch of friends and one of them said, "Look at my gun I got," and like whips it out of her backpack real fast and whips it back in. And she has said it's real. And our daughter, stupid, says, "I don't want no part of this." And then just backs up out of there and says, "I want nothing to do with this."
Mm-hmm.
But one of the friends goes and immediately tells the teacher. And so I'm like, kudos on that friend.
Right.
Because I'm like, what if it had been real? And then, of course, the whole school like gets up in a big ruckus, uproar. Well, it didn't. The teachers and stuff got into an uproar. The only students that know about this are the ones who saw it at the table.
Mm-hmm.
None of the other students saw this.
Which is our daughter is one of those students.
And our daughter is one of those stupid students.
And now, we have taught her, don't snitch. Now, I know I've taught her that, but there are times and situations
that... Now we need to get into the times and situations where telling on your friend would be the best interest at this point.
Yes.
My daughter thought she was doing the right thing going, "I don't want any part of this."
Mm-hmm.
She thought that was right. Like, don't tell on your friend, but don't be a part of the stupid.
Right.
Which is not her fault. That is literally what we have taught her. Don't be a part of the stupid. But anyways, the other friend was like immediately just like got up from the table and booked it for a teacher.
Yes, and that's where I'm going to say, guys, if you see something like this, do not hesitate.
Oh yeah, the rat friend was on point. I'm like, whoever that kid's parents is knows. If you see a gun at school, you tell somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to teach my daughter right now because next time it could be fucking real.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so the very next, like, say what you said. Be that friend. Say, "I don't want no part of this."
Mm-hmm.
But, just be careful, friend, and then back yourself out of that situation, just like you did.
Mm-hmm.
But then, when you are safely away from that gun and that person, you tell an adult.
Yes.
So now my daughter knows, find safety first,
yep.
And then tell an adult.
Yes, and that goes for anybody, okay? It is not something to be messed around with. I was in a school where a kid actually brought a gun to school, and
When you were a kid?
Yes, when I was in middle school, a kid brought a gun to school to retaliate for some shit, and...
Yeah, you came from those.
No, this was actually a very preppy...
It was a preppy school?
Yes, this was a preppy school. These kids thought that they were gangbangers, all this and that, even though I came from ghetto schools going to this one.
From Malibu's most wanted over here.
Yeah, and he actually brought a gun to school, and it was all over the news. And he was caught and everything the period before me and him had class together.
Jesus, he's going to get shot.
Well, I don't know if I want to go into all that. But he was caught, and it was found that it was loaded, and he had the intent, and he was arrested and all that kind of stuff. So that was a very, very scary scenario for myself. And that's where I was trying to tell our daughter last night, like, this isn't funny, this isn't a game. Like, if you see something like that, you need to...
This is not a funny trend. This is not something you want to see on TikTok. This is...
And luckily, the kid that brought that gun to school, he showed it to some of his friends. His friends immediately went to the principal and was like, dude, no, this is serious. And
I hope all... I mean, obviously they're not. I was going to say, I would hope all kids are like that, but obviously they're not, because there's been school shootings. And those kids that did the school shootings showed their fucking friends first.
Yes. Yeah. And
they're like, hey, watch out, man, because I'm going to be shooting school up, and I don't want to shoot you because you're my homie.
Yeah. And if you hear anything like that, by all means, say something. Say something, because even if you don't, and you don't want to be a part of it, you're going to have to live with that. I could have done something.
Yeah. Anyway, where I was going with my daughter's story is that I had gotten a note about the incident on my phone, because our school has a Remind app.
Yeah.
And about, like, there had been a toy gun brought to school and everything was fine. There was no incident. Your student might not even know about it. So, of course, I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, cool. And then my daughter goes, there's a security officer at our school now. And I'm like, yeah, I heard about something like that. I'm glad that he's there now, And she's like, well, he's normally there, but he's mostly there for, like, drugs and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, not for guns and all that. And she goes, funny story, Mom. And then she tells me about the freaking friend with the backpack. And I'm just like, oh my God, you were one of those kids in the freaking notes.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, girl, why did you not tell nobody? She goes, I told him I didn't want no part of this. And I backed up out of there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, good. I'm glad. Always do that. But next time, I want you to tell the teacher first.
Yes. And once you're away from the danger, immediately tell somebody.
Yeah, I said, don't run off like that kid, the other kid did, okay? Don't run off immediately, because if it is an attack of some kind, you could get shot running like that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, just say what you said. Say, dude, I want no part of this, man. You do what you got to do, but I'm backing up out of here.
Yeah.
And then once you are a safe distance, find an adult, tell them what's going on.
Yes.
Go from there.
Like I said, we're teaching her that there are things that you can and cannot snitch on, and that is definitely one of them, because I don't give a shit if it makes you look like a rat or whatever. You're going to be possibly saving people's lives. So
I don't get rat if it's going to save somebody's life.
Yes.
But if it's just because somebody hurt your feelings.
Yeah, if it's over a small, minute squabble and shit, like, hey, you know what? That's none of my fucking business. I ain't gonna tell nobody, but leave me the fuck out of it.
Yeah, but if it's like someone might get killed,
if it's a life or death situation, by all means, say something.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, we don't need no more of these tragedies.
I said the same thing with knives and stuff. Like, if it's weapons, like, you gotta tell somebody.
A weapon in general.
Hey, I will be honest. I was one of the kids that brought a batarang to school, a real one.
Yeah.
I brought a batarang to school, y'all. Knife, it was sharpened, everything. It could kill somebody, but I was like, look at my cool batarang. I'm so cool, edgy. Nobody ratted on me.
Well, you just did. But but this is where we're going to end the episode, guys. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this one, because this one was about education and actually just trying to keep yourselves from ruining your life. And whether it's immediate or in the long run.
Trending dangers, man.
Yeah.
Careful of them trending dangers.
Be careful of it. Watch what you post. Watch what you have people following you. And just control your social media a lot better. And try to live your life the best you can. If you see something, say something. And whether it's you got your phone out or not, don't be afraid to fucking stand up for what you think is safe and not. Other than that, leave us a comment down below. Give us a like, a subscribe if you want to have more of these videos coming up, because we've got tons more to talk about. And be sure to give us a share, because that helps keep our channel alive and get us out there for other people to hear what we have to say.
Because you're going to be like, listen to these assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, listen to these assholes.
Yeah, that's
the asshole.
If you share it, you got to say that. Be like, title it, listen to these assholes.
Yeah, for real. Please do. And other than that, just get out there, live life, be safe, don't do something stupid. And if you are, make sure that it is going to keep you alive.
Yeah,
and
if you're going to do something stupid, you better post it on social media so we can all see it.
Yeah.
And just ruin your life.
Yeah, that's up to you. Ruin your life on your own.
Ruin it.
But we're not going to tell you to do that, because we're going to tell you to just live it and just have fun with it and do what you got to do, but make sure that you are going to be okay. And I've said what I said.
Kika.